Howdy, everybody. It is Thursday, and it's Chamber Check-In time. Today, we get to talk with Jeff Jacobs. Jeff is the founder and co-owner of Foot Dynamics, a downtown Boise comfort shoe store and orthotics company. Jeff, welcome.
Thanks for having me, Paul.
Absolutely my pleasure. You know, we've been doing these chamber check-ins for a while now, and it's a great opportunity to let others know about businesses in the area, check in on their team, see if they're open for business. But this is a unique opportunity because every time I review a little bit about our chamber members, before I do these chamber check-ins, I learn some incredible things about the people behind the brand. So I want you to tell a little bit about the story, the history of Foot Dynamics. And I'd love for you to tell the audience, anybody who's watching, how you got your start. You know, you can read, there's a part in your website that says about, and there's a part that says about Jeff Jacobs. That's the most important part about this whole thing, because in our community, we have a bunch of talented people who own business because of their passion in the industry that they're in. And that's what this is about today. So tell us about the story and how you got your start, Jeff.
Well, I grew up in a skiing household. My dad was actually an Olympian in 1953 in Oslo. He started a ski business, and I worked in it in my youth, and then went off to college and got involved with a business called Peterson Laboratories. It was a foot orthotics company. Well, more actually a ski boot, custom foot bed business. And I worked with them for about 7 years. I actually was the guy they hired to replace Bill Peterson when he left the company. And I got my kind of training out in the field. The owners of the company decided they wanted to move into the medical arena. They had hired me as a general manager, so I had to go out and learn how to speak to all these orthopedic surgeons and podiatrists and chiropractors and physical therapists and podorthists, you know, the whole gamut. And all of them spoke a little bit different language. So I did that for about 7 years, and my dad convinced me to come back to the family business, which I did for a while, but you know, my dad and I loved each other and played well together, but didn't work as well together. Anyway, I ended up leaving, and I started a little orthotics business in my garage. I was single parenting a young daughter at the time, and just had to make things work. So that was how I got transitioned from the ski industry into the medical orthotics business. And then my daughter went off to college, and I came to Boise, Idaho, because a local company here, Sun Valley Ski Tools, was looking for one of my products to distribute, and asked me to come out to train their sales reps. And when I came to Boise, Idaho, I just fell in love with downtown Boise. And I said, this is where I need to be. I have been emancipated because my daughter's out of the house, and I made 3 or 4 trips out here, and fell in love with Bogus Basin, and you know, it just seemed to be a great fit. So met a gal on the internet. We got together. Ultimately moved to Boise, Idaho together, and started the business. And it's been amazing what Boise's done for us. They've just really embraced what we do in a big way. So we've done some different things. We're not, you know, a typical shoe store because of our medical component. We have a clinic, and because of the orthotics lab, which we do fabrication work for people all over the United States, sports medicine clinics, podiatry clinics. We make custom Birkenstocks for the podiatric market. And then we have some really skilled clinicians working in our shop. One's a UK trained podiatrist, and the other was the lead podorthist at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. And he's come to work with us as I kind of get prepared for retirement. His name's Jeff. My name's Jeff. People call and they ask for Jeff. Now we can just say yes. But anyway, it's been a great thing. 13 years. We've really done great things here. And like I say, we're a little different because we have the ski component. We do custom cycling shoes, Nordic boots. I mean, and our focus obviously is on feet. And so unlike a backpacking shop that sells tents or a ski shop that sells, skis, boots, poles, we only do the foot stuff. And so we're really good at it. With being focused.
Yes, you are. And I had an opportunity to, set up a custom orthotic piece for my boots a few years ago. I had an old pair of boots and they just didn't fit right. And you're like, dude, we can set you up with some orthotics. And so you custom built, and I still have those orthotics. I just keep moving them from my boots, and they're incredible. I mean, and it's great timing right now to go down and meet with Jeff and their team down at Foot Dynamics. If you're struggling with, you're having pain in your boot, because you don't have to, you can go see Jeff and get that taken care of. People
think that, foot pain and skiing is just normal.
Right.
Like people think that, after a long day at work, having your feet hurt is normal. Well, foot pain is not normal. We need to have it looked at. There are solutions.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So retail stores, and I want to focus on retail brick and mortar stores right now. There's been a lot of challenges over the years about online and shopping online, and now even more with the pandemic. Can you tell us a little bit how you're operating now and what your hours are, and how can people do business with you?
Well, we're operating normal hours, 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 10 to 5 on Saturday. We've limited the number of people in the store to 6. If there's 6 people in the store, you have to queue up outside. Masks are required. I mean, we're in the middle of a pandemic, and we're doing everything we possibly can to mitigate the risk. When I take a patient into a little exam room, it's only one-on-one. Anybody that happens to be with them is going to sit outside. You'll let you look through the doorway, but you're not coming in. And I mask up and I wear gloves, and we just try to be very careful, clean everything between every patient. But retail is tough, and you're right, retail is getting tougher. Fortunately for us, we're so service oriented. With the medical component, people come to us because they simply aren't going to get the service online. You can buy a pair of shoes, but you can't really get a solution for your foot problem. You just, it's like throwing darts. You just hope you hit something.
Right.
And we offer different level of service, which puts us in a better position to be a sustainable business. And, I know there's some challenges in downtown. People think it's hard to park. Truth be known, it's really easy to park in downtown. Yeah, I may have to pay a little bit for that, but you're not going to have to walk, 3 city blocks to get to us. We're right off the connector. I mean, there's usually a parking spot, within a half a block. So
absolutely,
it's actually easier than trying to drive to the mall. Anyway.
Well, Jeff, I want to make sure that we dove a little bit deeper into kind of the testimonials that you have. I mean, you guys, I was, again, researching. You have so many 5-star reviews and testimonials. That just tells the story that, okay, we sell shoes, we do custom orthotics, but then that service piece. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think that it's the business ethic. And it's, having grown up in retail, I know there's one thing you do not ever want to have to do to a customer is say no. You always want to say yes, and whatever it takes to say yes. I mean, there are very few occasions when I've had to say, I'm sorry, I can't help you, or no, I won't do this or that. So, I mean, the willingness and the eagerness to please and to serve is the key. And if you do your best, don't count the money. Count the customers.
Right.
You know, that's the most important thing. The money will come, and like you said, you know, the reviews come because you did a good job. And so just keep doing a good job. It's not rocket science.
Right. Okay. Let's see. So, so you talked about being your capacity of being open. Hey, I also noticed that you do a little teleconsulting for those that aren't comfortable yet. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we started this program when there was a shutdown, lockdown, and we figured we've got to do something. And you know, we could do curbside, delivery. We could run out with the car and deliver to people's homes. But you know, how do you really give them your expertise? A lot of our customers, you know, have I call it a rap sheet, but we have their information because I've been in and we've done an evaluation of the foot issues. And so we have that knowledge. And so we can get on the phone with them and kind of figure out what we might need to do next to solve their problems. It's a little bit of a challenge when you're talking to somebody you've never seen their feet before, but generally somebody calls and, gee, I've got, you know, pain in my heel. What do you think we can do? You can say, well, you know, if you get up in the morning and your heel hurts, it sounds like, you know, classic plantar fasciitis symptoms. The typical treatment would be arch support, rest, and stretching. And so you can talk them through what those three components mean. Might mean a new pair of shoes, might be an insert, might be a night splint, or just a simple stretching routine. But, you know, you get somebody on the phone and you ask enough questions, you can usually give them some information that they may find beneficial.
Okay. All right. Thanks for having that service and providing that during this time. Hey, why don't you tell us a little bit about the shoe component and what kind of brands you carry?
That's kind of interesting. 10 years ago, we discovered a brand called Altra, A-L-T-R-A. Their claim to fame is that they have what's called a zero-drop platform. In other words, they do not elevate the heel relative to the ball of the foot. So it's like being in your barefoot position, but obviously with shoes on. And their second claim to fame is that they designed the toe box to be the shape of a human foot. They don't taper the toe. So even if the shoe is wide enough with the ball of the foot where we normally measure the width, if you taper the toe box, you're pinching those toes together, the foot can't function naturally. Now, when you are a clinician and you're trying to figure out where a person's foot problem is coming from, one of the things we learned is there's a condition called equinus, which is a tightness in the calf and the Achilles tendon. That tightness is a cultural problem because we sit in chairs and we drive in cars and our shoes have elevated heels, even if it's only, you know, a running shoe might have 12 millimeters of heel rise. Well, nobody squats to talk to the neighbor or to eat or pray or defecate or anything anymore. And most of us can't even get into that position.
Oh, that's right.
So what happens is that posterior compartment, the calf and the Achilles shortens, and it puts stresses on the foot that aren't normally there. Our ancestors didn't have these problems.
Right.
So part of the treatment plan when you come in to have us help you is let's get your heels down so we get some natural stretch. I can show you mechanical stretches. You'll never do enough of it. You just can't. You just can't. So the footwear becomes a part of the treatment plan in that case. And what was a little esoteric running shoe company is now a fairly major player in the running shoe community. We're the largest brick and mortar dealer on the planet because we're not run specialty. We do sell to runners, obviously, but because Aunt Mercy and Uncle George are getting them too. You know, everybody who comes into our store is going to be encouraged to get into a sensible piece of footwear. Or a Birkenstock has the same design, zero elevation in the heel, that oblique toe box looks like a foot. Exactly. But beyond that, we also are selling what we call orthotic friendly shoes. So pretty much everything we sell, you need to be able to take the sock liner out in case you're putting in either an off-the-shelf insert or maybe a customer insert. Um, so a lot of alternatives.
Okay. Birkenstock, Altra. What are the ski boot brand I saw you fitting a guy with the other day?
We sell Dale boot. And that's the only ski boot we sell. It's a great problem solver boot because they're made in Salt Lake City. And you come in and I actually take your foot measurements and I send the measurements down there. They build the shells to those dimensions.
Wow.
And then send a zip fit or an Intuition heat moldable liner. And we make a custom footbed. And when we're done, you have a custom boot. And they're not as crazy expensive as you might think. You're about on par with any other performance boot.
Great. That's awesome. Yeah. It's so important to have a boot that fits. And you said heat molded. So if I have a brand new boot and can I come down and have it heat molded with y'all?
Well, we can put an Intuition liner in that boot and heat mold it. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, we're not a ski shop. And yes, we sell our fair share of the Dale boot, and we're a pretty big dealer for them. But primarily, I'm a boot fitter, problem solver. So you bring your boots to me, and even if you're in the market for new boots, you can go to one of the great ski shops in town, pick out a pair of boots, bring them to me, and I can fit them for you.
Awesome. Okay. Okay. Cool. Hey, let's see. I want to make sure I cover everything. Just in time for ski boot fitting season, 5-star reviews, not your ordinary shoe store, custom footbeds. I noticed also on your website that if I have a custom footbed already and I've had it for 3 or 4 years, you can bring it in and have it like recalibrated. Is that? Tell us about that.
We refurbish, or not only our orthotics, but anybody's orthotics. Depending on the construction, if it's a solid foam construction, there's not much to be done with it. But we build our orthotics with a plastic shell, so we can rip off the top covers, bottom covers, and reline them and make them just like new. We can modify, we can adjust. Virtually nothing we can't do as a lab. We have all the materials and technology. So.
Okay. Well, and one more thing before we go. I noticed you had an opportunity to expand your showroom. You have a lot of inventory. You're in stock. Is there anything that you want to tell the audience that we didn't talk about already?
Well, we do. We work from what I call a full wagon. I should say my dad used to call it a full wagon. Yeah, we have the inventory. We're well invested, so we generally have anything you would want in the lines that we carry. Always willing to special order for people for things that they want that we don't have on the shelf. But as I said before, the most important thing I think is when you come in the door, you should be well greeted and well treated, and we'll do whatever we can to help you. That's what we're there for.
Awesome. And I've seen you guys dealing with the construction around you pretty well.
Yeah, the building was sold, and the new owners are putting apartments upstairs and doing a complete facelift.
Yeah.
So it's been a little chaotic, and sometimes it's a bit noisy, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's going to be a beautiful building when they're done. So it's all good.
That's awesome. I love your positive attitude, Jeff, doing that stuff. Hey, thank you for your membership with the chamber. It's been, I think, about 6 years. Thank you for the continued partnership there. And also, thanks for supporting Bogus Basin like you do every single year. It means a lot.
Bogus is a real gem. Having grown up in skiing and been a ski racer, I've traveled all over the world and skied. I don't think there's a better ski area under 2,000 vertical feet in the country. It's awesome. It's a great amenity for Boise. Boise's really lucky to have it.
Absolutely. Okay, Jeff. Well, we'll come and see you for Christmas gifts and Birkenstocks, and for all those folks out there with runners in their family, send them down to Foot Dynamics to check out their brand Altra. Jeff, Thanks so much. Have a great week.
Thanks. Stay safe.
I will. You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.